What fool thing is Johnny doing now? Well, he's writing yet another Lee Hacklin mystery, and this one is called The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Here we go, Chapter 3. Welcome to Notre Dame, Lee. Homesick yet? Like Dorothy and Toto. That's the Basilica of the Sacred Heart. It's one of America's most famous churches. Are you a religious man, Lee? I'm a devout Hacklinarian. Dean Carl Custer was sitting across from me. He and I and Coach Reg were riding in Custer's father's limo. Custer was on his third glass of bourbon. He rolled his eyes and stuck his finger in his mouth. I'm no Marxist, but Carl was dead on when it came to religion. It's the opiate of the masses. Reg chuckled and said, Carl, you remind me of an old episode of The Twilight Zone. I think it was the one with Walter Matthau. He's angry and he's bitter and he's cynical and he hates everybody. He thinks the world would be a better place if everybody was exactly like him. It's the Twilight Zone, so he gets his wish. And of course he winds up feeling more miserable than ever. Custer snorted and said, I don't watch television. Before I could stop myself, I said, Gosh, Dean, you're my kind of guy. Fun, easygoing, and down to earth. His reply was rather cutting, pun intended. Eat a broken glass sandwich, Hacklin. Reg barked, Carl, this man is our guest. He poured himself another glass and slurred, That man's a stone killer. The wake he leaves behind is slick with the blood of society's less fortunate. I grinned and said, That pretty much covers it. Hey, Coach, did you ever see that Twilight Zone with Burgess Meredith? The one where he's a bank teller who just wants to read all day. He's in the vault when World War III breaks out. He wanders the devastation and discovers the one remaining intact building. Of course, it's the library and there are thousands of books everywhere. He loses his mind in a good way, then he breaks his glasses. What a twist, right? You might want to pop a Mentos, Dean. Your breath smells like a Times Square alley, just saying. I winked at him and he flipped me the bird. You can't make friends with everybody. The limo stopped outside the university administration building. Someone unsteadily, Custer lit, and a key ring fell out of his pocket and landed on the floor of the limo. He was too drunk to notice. I scooped them up and shoved them into my jeans pocket. Coach Carl smiled. Coach Reg. I keep getting Reg and Carl mixed up, my friends. Okay, Coach Reg smiled and nodded at me. Maybe I won't have to warm the bench next game. Our next stop was the Larkin Ranch, just on the outskirts of Notre Dame. After unpacking my stuff in the guest house, I had dinner with Arlene, Reg's wife, and Rick, their son. After dinner, we played charades and had a ball. Around 9, the phone rang and Reg answered. Coach Larkin, go Fighting Irish. There's a mistake here. Go Fighting Irish. Hi, Carl. No, I don't have your office keys. You just noticed now that you don't have them? You're drinking too much, Dean. No, I'm not going to tell Lee to do that to himself. Good night. Around midnight, I left the guest house and walked a mile or so before I found a payphone. At least it wasn't raining. The sky was peppered with millions of stars. I had to will myself not to gaze upon them. I like to savor life's simple pleasures when I can, but I was on the job. I took a cab from the university administration to the university administration building. As I lit from the cab, I kept an eye out for campus security. So far, so good. I walked up the steps and unlocked the front door. If there was a silent alarm, then, like Lucy Ricardo, I was going to have a lot of explaining to do. Alarm. I made sure the door was locked behind me, ascended a staircase, found Dean Custer's office, unlocked the door, and closed it behind me without locking it, which in retrospect was a mistake that could have cost me my life. Best to leave the lights off, I thought. There was enough ambient light from outside for me to poke and snoop around without banging my knee into something every 5 seconds. I rummaged through his desk and found a ledger. As far as clues, smoking guns, diaries, and ledgers go, as far as clues go, smoking guns, diaries, and ledgers represent the gold standard. There were pages and pages of entries. They appeared to be donations from individuals and corporations. Nothing activated my spider sense until the last 2 entries. Ryan Finnegan, 50G. Laura Savanti, 50G. There was a phone on Custer's desk. I called Reg. Coach, it's Lee. Do you know a guy named Ryan Finnegan? Sure, good guy. Captain Finnegan is in charge of the university police department. I'm guessing that Lana Savanti is Tommy's mother. Hell's bells, Lee, did you crack this case already? Faster than a speeding bullet, Coach. The door opened and the lights came on. Dean Custer was holding a Walther PPK right out of James Bond in a two-handed grip, and it was pointed at my face. Oops-a-daisy. This is a hive. No, it's not a black eye. Okay, I don't fight. I'm a peace-loving man. Okay, thanks for watching this video. Happy Tuesday, and don't forget, God loves you, and so does Johnny. Cheers.